You're sitting down this time.
I was ready.
Big ups. You stayed up. We're fully ready. We were fully.
I sat down. I went to the bathroom like 15 minutes ago. I got
we were ready for it.
Big old water bottle. We're ready.
We're fully prepared. What's up, everyone? It is it's Wednesday, so that means it's time for Great North Sports. September 25th. It's almost October.
Trust me, I can tell. Mornings are a little bit chilly right now.
It was dark this morning. I woke up and it was fully dark.
That's the worst. You're like, cracking an eye before your alarm goes off, and you're like, I still got some time to sleep. Check the phone. You're like, fuck. As your alarm starts to ring, it's the worst. It's that weird time in New England right now where it's cold in the morning and then it's like 70 by midday.
It's hot all day. Yeah.
You go out on lunch break and you're like, oh, there goes the hoodie, and glad I wore shorts today.
Yeah. You got to wear both. You got to dress for all weather at that point.
Yeah. Hoodie and shorts is usually my default anyway, but that's like crucial for September through October.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I get up at 5:00. Aren't you fancy? I'm up not much later than that. Like 6:00 is usually when I'm out of bed. So
6:37.
It's I'm not like, it's not like I'm sleeping in. It's not like it's 8 a.m. and I'm like, time to get up. I'm usually at work by then. So, but you're on the road by then. Like, you're normally busy and shit. Like, that's fine. Is what it is. You need coffee. You need coffee is what you need. 100%.
Caffeine and nicotine.
That's all you need, brother. That's all you need. Man, we got so much to talk about football-wise. There's a couple of things that are non-football that I want to talk about. First of all, let's get the F1 out of the way. Danny Rick possibly finished for good. Someone asked him if he was offered the reserve driver seat for Red Bull, would he take it? And his answer was, nope.
Don't want it.
He made a comment that he was not going to restart his career, and I don't blame him. I feel like at this point he's better served going to Sky Sports, or someone said go to NASCAR like Grosjean did after that crazy fiery crash that he was in.
Don't hate that.
Danny Rick and NASCAR would be a time.
That would be so fun.
That would be a good time.
See Australian with a bunch of rednecks.
Yeah. Shoeys? I want to see Shoeys again.
Shoeys at Talladega?
Yeah. Shoeys at Talladega. Give me some milk in the shoe.
Go unnecessarily hard.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it'd be a good time. So I'm hoping for it. I doubt it.
Him and media would be great too.
Feel like he'll end up on Sky F1 coverage.
Regardless, he's not going to disappear. And if this is it for F1, I mean, fucking hell of a career.
Man, 258 races, 85 races, something like that. It's a lot. It's a lot of races. 8-time winner. It's not like he was a nobody. He played the game and he lost. I feel bad. His time at Renault was not great.
Horrible.
And then he went to McLaren, and McLaren gave him the worst car they've ever developed in the history of motorsport.
I saw a meme earlier. It was like the McLaren just made some Lego car. They were making it go like 40 miles an hour. There's a bunch of comments in there like, this is better than McLaren cars for this year, that.
They're not wrong.
No, they were bad for a bit there.
They were real bad.
In between now and like when Lewis was there.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So Danny Rick could be done. Also, on the releasing front, we got a new documentary we gotta watch. I haven't watched it. God. You haven't watched it yet.
I haven't watched it yet. I saw it,
but
on Netflix earlier. Oh, might have lost her. I'm sure. We back?
I died. Yeah, I'm back.
Very good. Okay.
I don't know what happened.
It's a quick one, at least.
I don't know what happened. Everything was fine, and then it wasn't. It just stopped. The Vince McMahon documentary coming out.
Yes, sir. You know it's going to be bad when he had to get out in front of it. Like, the documentary wasn't releasing for another few days, and he had to go on Twitter. It was like, So you know, this real one-sided documentary. It's like they interviewed you for days, dude. He was part of it. He was in it, right? If I'm not mistaken, he's going to be a big part of it. Tau City started it. It's fantastic. I can't wait. I'm super excited to watch this. Especially going to be talking in it. I hear some of his side of the story. Oh, that's Tau. I didn't even see that. That's very, very Vince, though.
That's very rich guy shit. Like that's like we got to do that, right? Like you got to. There's no way you can go. I don't want you to put this out. That makes me want to watch it more.
And just like the absolute zero self-awareness to be like, if somebody found out that you're going to be trying to buying it, you're just like, again, admitting like, this is bad. I can't let this see the light of day. Like,
it's not going to be good.
No, it's not. I'm sure it's going to start out pretty nice and build him up, and then like by episode 3 or 4, you're just going to be like, Jesus.
Yeah, they'd be like he took it over from his dad and built it into the greatest wrestling promotion on planet Earth, and then he did some real twisted stuff. And let me tell you exactly what he did. And then,
yeah, I want to try to avoid getting anything off of like Twitter and shit. I know it's going to be impossible. I'm not going to be able to watch it in one sitting. So
don't no spoilers. No spoilers. I'd rather watch a story without knowing what's going to happen in it.
100%.
It was a little frustrating when it doesn't work that way, but is what it is. So yeah,
preseason NHL back.
NHL preseason hockey back, baby.
Let's go. Still no Jeremy Swayman in camp.
Still don't have a goalie.
Nope. Sweeney was like, it might be till December. Who knows? Fuck it. Bungled that. Like, holy God.
Leafs lost 2 straight games in preseason to Ottawa, and that just fills my heart with so much joy.
Yeah. So we're back, baby. Leafs hockey.
Caps still suck.
That's what we do.
Still old, still slow.
So are the Penguins.
Montreal is not. Montreal is fast and young.
Fast and young.
Lane Hudson, dog. Did you see the saucer pass?
No, I didn't.
Oh, buddy, look up the Lane Hudson saucer pass, end to end, like full sauce. It's incredible. I'm gonna watch it now. See, this is it. You gotta find it. Guy's ridiculous.
I don't know why it's not coming up.
I'll send it to you on X.
Yeah, please do.
It, so. Anyway, it's a good time. Montreal is, they're not going to win anything, but I like it. I like the team's makeup, and
I would like my team a whole lot better if we didn't absolutely fucking botch this offseason.
Well, I'm not.
We are the biggest team in the league. We're trying to build up like the mid 2010s Bruins, just be massive and defensive oriented, and we're supposed to sign our franchise goalie, and we just aren't doing half of it.
Yeah.
Defense isn't going to matter when we have Korpisalo playing 50 games a year. It's no shot at Korpisalo, but I don't want that. Oh, yeah, that's absurd.
Yeah, you found it?
Yeah. Holy. That's like right over the top of 3 defenders and then right into the pocket on a breakaway. That's crazy.
Rookie. He's a kid.
That's nasty.
Hey, just little boop.
I'll retweet it now so it's at the top of my feed. If anybody else wants to go check it out.
Yeah, it's good. It's amazing.
Rangers were in like 12,000 car accidents the other night. There were so many hits in that game.
It was brutal. For a preseason game? That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean it's fun to see hockey back. We'll have hockey in a couple of weeks. I think we're like 10 days out, maybe less than that.
The hockey offseason feels like super short.
It is. It used to be. It's because we used to play the Cup final way earlier, but they everything got shortened or lengthened for load management purposes during the playoffs. They spread out those games.
I wish they would stagger with the NBA just a little bit more.
They had 2 days off they had a travel day and a day off during the Stanley Cup Finals, and It prolonged it like a week. That's too much. Too much. We need it shorter. And I would like to see it ending a little sooner, but that is what it is. All right, you want to get into football?
We're not talking to baseball, or we're gonna hit that later.
Let's talk baseball now.
So
We'll talk some baseball, and then we'll get into football.
we talk about how royally fucked the Braves and the Mets are about to get.
Braves and Mets postponed. So now we got
series basically
double
to decide a playoff spot, depending on what happens with the Diamondbacks. But more than likely, the series is going to decide a playoff spot for one of these two teams. You lose you, Go?
No, you didn't lose me.
Oh, okay.
I just had to blow my nose.
Got you. My bad. I wasn't looking.
I can't imagine a worse way to end a season if you're one of those teams. So you already have an awful long season. You got 162 games. You're grinding it out. And you managed to get to a point where you could make the playoffs. But the only way you do it is by playing the worst form of baseball, which is all-day baseball. You get a break in between. And, I played in tournaments when I was younger, and it was like that, where it's like, yeah, you play a game at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then you're going to play another game at noon or 1. And it's like,
the
you
worst
sit around
for that
a
was
little
fucking,
bit.
Basketball tournaments are the worst for that. You're going to play 4 games today. It's like, are you kidding me?
You sit around a little bit and you get cold, and then you got to warm up again and try to stretch again and get back into rhythm. And you usually play a team that literally just wrapped and is feeling good. These guys are going to play the game, go back into the clubhouse, hang out for the afternoon. At least the clubhouse is nicer than the shitty ball field in the valley or whatever. But I still think it's an awful way. I feel bad for the players. It's exciting from a fan point of view because it's
we're going to have a doubleheader to decide a playoff spot. I mean, unless the Diamondbacks absolutely tank this weekend and then they're both in, which I saw it will be up to the commissioner whether or not that doubleheader is even played. If they're both in the playoffs,
they just call it.
But
we'll see.
It's going to be very interesting. And you already know it's going to happen. The Diamondbacks are going to win out now. And it's 100% going to come down to this doubleheader. But like you mentioned, the fact that you have to play 162 games and this is what it's coming down to with a storm you knew was well on the way. We could have worked around this. Could have moved some shit around, played one game on so-and-so day and then still play on Monday.
And they didn't do it.
No, they botched it. Classic MLB.
Also, speaking of the tank, we're almost there, baby. Last night, the Angels lost to the White Sox. The White Sox actually got the win. And the fans booed. The home fans. The home, they wanted to witness history. They want to lose. I don't know if there's a worse job in sports right now than being involved with that team. From any aspect. Media, from being a player, from being you got to answer questions. Someone was asked how it felt to get the support from the fans out there. It might have been Benintendi that got asked the question. And he's like, what are you supposed to say? They don't actually support us right now. We're kind of trash. We're kind of bad. We're, historically the worst. We're tied for worst ever with those Mets. It's bad. It's so bad. Do they win out? That's the question. Do the White Sox do they win out? Or are they
they might hold it off a little bit. Oh, they're up 2 right now. Bottom of the second, they scored.
Mother truckers.
They're gonna do it.
Son of a bitch. They're gonna hold them off.
They're gonna hold them off.
Yeah.
When you're up 3-1 in a series, 3-0 in a series, and they still just keep holding off the champagne. Maybe we'll get them tomorrow. It's all right. We'll keep the bottles. Keep them on ice.
When they kept delivering, they kept bringing the Stanley Cup into the building when you're up 3-1, and you're like, "We got this," and it's like, "No, you don't. That's a curse. Keep it away." Yeah, baby's first clinchmas. Some coloring picks. Yeah, it's pretty good.
The Brewers
he's a
did a
beast.
similar thing for Jackson Chourio.
Who's a dog?
Dog. Absolute dog.
We didn't talk about this because it happened
That
after
Brewers
our last
team
show.
is
By the
another
way,
one that just gets no love. It's like them and the Guardians both. They're like been really good all year. Get
what
absolutely
about the Padres?
Padres, they turned it around.
They're
Well, I remember
hot as hell right now.
mid-season, we were like, I don't know if they're going to end up making a playoff spot, and now they're just
It was tough. Yeah.
Heater.
Absolute banger right now. Shohei Ohtani is otherworldly. Is that the greatest single day of baseball we've ever seen? Like single game?
It's up there.
It's got to be up there. He had 10 RBIs.
To found the 50-50 club, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs, 6 for 6.
Did he have a steal that game too? I feel like he did. 2. So he had 2 stolen bags on top of it.
50 and 51 both came in that game.
Like, what do you like? I don't know. What else do you want him to do? This is his down year, by the way. He's not pitching.
Also, shout out to Skip Schumacher for just telling it how it was.
Yeah.
Loved that. He was like, why would I walk him? I'm going to pitch to him.
On the precipice of history, man.
Yeah.
He's going to do it one way or another. Might as well do it.
Happens. It's
yeah.
baseball.
Yeah,
Shohei's just incredible. I still like I see all these Yankee fans like, oh well, look at the stats. Judge has better stats. I don't care. Shohei's just more impressive.
It is more impressive.
Put
Running the
Yankee
bases is
Stadium.
hard.
Put him in Yankee Stadium. What would his stats look like then?
Oh,
he played 81 games in Yankee Stadium.
800 home runs.
Come on.
800 home runs.
I saw that's how that guy's a fucking legend. I would same thing. I'm turning down anything they give me. Not doing it. I'm taking it. It's mine.
They for those that don't know, the fan that caught the 50 home run ball did not return it to the club. Nope. I'm sure they would have given him very nice stuff.
They offered him a large sum of money.
And to which he said, I've got 2 words for you. Suck it. And he walked away. He took it. And his starting bid, it's up for auction. The starting bid was $500K. I don't know what it's at right now. The starting bid was $500,000.
See if I can find it.
Yeah. Look, sometimes you got to bully it away from the kids. Maybe this is one that's
turned down $300K.
So he started at $500K.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll get more. I'm sure he'll get more. It probably crosses $1 million, to be honest with you. People love Shohei.
I think,
and it's a story. Yeah. All right. Any more baseball? I don't think so.
If bidding reaches $3 million prior to October 9th, the option to purchase privately will no longer be available.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, smart play. It's a smart move. Too many guys are like, they'll take the free tickets and the swag from the team and stuff, and it's like, I get it, but that was a wise business decision from that man. Wise business decision.
Tal, you're right. I probably would have folded too. They're like here's $300,000. I'd probably been like, it's really tough to turn down. And they're like, you're gonna get free seats, like you got season tickets now, I would 100% be negotiating though. Like I would have been talking to the Dodgers probably for a very long time. We would have still been in negotiations now. I
think for this one, you would have to have given yourself a pep talk beforehand. Like, look, if I get this, what's my number? What are we? You go to your buddies, you go to your your wife or your partner, and you're like, what are we getting if we want this? And you set yourself some standards, because otherwise, yeah, you're right. It would have been tax crazy. But, you would fold. If it was look, if it was Vladdy's 500th home run, it's that's cool and all. I'll take the signed jersey and the bat and all that other stuff. Like, that's fine. But like this one, you've got to know, like, with everything going on in collectibles, with everything going on with Shohei, with Major League Baseball's attention on Ohtani, which Mike Trout never got, by the way, never got.
No.
He was otherworldly for several years, and they just didn't do anything about it. They were like, it'll be on SportsCenter. That's enough. Thanks a lot, MLB.
Shohei also has so much more reach because he's got the entire country of Japan.
Yeah.
And all the other countries out there that support him. Like, it's
Shohei's
on a different level of superstar. The MLB hasn't
is.
seen in a long time, if ever.
Ichiro.
He's bigger than Ichiro.
I don't know, man. Griffey was everywhere.
That's the one.
Griffey was doing like Big Mac commercials and shit.
Right.
I see the Shohei New Balance commercial, but he's on with like 8 other people.
And bookies surrounded by bookmakers.
It's like Shohei and like Cameron Brink and like all those other, like, there's like a soccer player, a couple of tennis guys. It's not a great commercial. All right, let's get into football because we got to.
Let's do it.
Thursday night. We got welcome. This is the team that we expected.
Yeah.
Week 1.
Welcome to the 2024-2025 New England Patriots experience.
No, we can't speak enough English to carry a commercial, but
They
could do things about that.
Because
show me
enough English to cameo in a commercial.
No. This is the Patriots team when the preseason finished and the regular season rankings came out that we thought we would see. And then they did that thing that New England is known for, which is they gave us unnecessary hope. They played reasonably well against the Bengals, who admittedly...
I don't know if we'll say hope, but optimism. You're like, oh, this isn't as bad as I thought.
Well, no, you know what? Week 2, they gave me hope. We lost that game in overtime, and it was winnable. It was a blocked field goal,
Very
and the game was winnable. So they could have been 2
and if it weren't for a blown coverage on DK like that, we're not even talking about it.
Yeah. It would have been a 2-0 team going into the game against the Jets, and then it's a very different conversation. And then they showed up and they played the Jets, and I don't know if the offensive line had like malaria or if they they just wanted to go home. Like they were like, I got Broadway tickets
against Jacoby Brissett. Clearly, that man left 6 ribs and a spleen on that field.
No, they did not show up.
Every single time he gets hit, I'm like, oh, that's it. Here comes Drake May, Joe Milton. Who fucking knows?
Every time he got hit, he was hurt. Like he was like legitimately in pain.
It's been like that since the Bengals game. He got hurt and banged up like halfway through the game, week 1, and now every time he's gotten hit.
Yeah,
I did too. I thought he was 100% coming in.
There was a point where he like went down, like he bent his knee sideways, and I was like, oh.
Yeah,
it's Drake May time. Way too much.
I saw this tweet the other night. I loved it. Jacoby Brissett sacrificing all of his limbs and brain cells in order to protect Drake May from this offensive line is a truly heroic act. He deserves a small statue at Patriot Place.
Yeah. Tao, you're not wrong. You're traveling back from across country. Sure. It's not. But like we
weren't traveling across country.
No, they weren't. They were. No, you're right. I was going to say, no, you're not. You're not traveling.
We played Seattle at home.
Yeah. It was ugly. Traveling to New York from New England.
Short week, I'll give you, but
short week for sure. They weren't prepared for the game. They weren't prepared for any of that offensive or the defensive pressure. None of it.
Gino played great too.
They just played blitz. That's it. Aaron Rodgers was dialed up in that Jets game. He was ready to go. And I mean, the defense was fine.
I knew we were fucked the first. There was the first or second play that the Jets had the ball. Rodgers bootlegged for like 12 or 13 yards. I was like, fuck. This is going to be a long night.
Yeah, he's got a few of those left, I think. Not a ton, but a few.
The other play that summed it up was our biggest run of the night. Ramondre Stevenson got called back for a penalty where he broke his finger on.
Yeah, he stiff-armed a guy and his finger got caught in the
stuck
mask.
face mask, yeah.
And they were like, you're a penalty.
Yeah, that's gonna be on you, brother. That's your fault. You touched a face mask. It's like send that. You can tell too. Like everyone's shoulders just dropped. Like that.
What are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
What is
they were
that?
mentally checked out after that. Jacoby Brissett was going to die out there. That offensive line it's somebody. It may not be Jacoby. Somebody's gonna die behind that line. They were checking out Marshall Newhouse the other day. You know how desperate you have to be on the offensive line to be like, you know what, we should probably bring in Marshall Newhouse.
It's ugly. It doesn't help that we lost some defensive pressure as well. For the
Juwan Bentley probably done for the year, and like that. Thank you for bringing that up too, because it seemed like the Jets were just picking up 4, 5, 6 yards of carry every single time. Nobody was touching him until he got into the secondary, whether it was Breece Hall, fucking Aaron Rodgers, Braylon Allen. It didn't matter. They were just gashing us every single time. And that just goes to show how valuable Juwan Bentley is and how undervalued, like talked about, underappreciated he is around the league. Guys had 100+ tackles in back-to-back seasons, and the second he wasn't on the field, our whole defense collapsed.
Yeah, it wasn't great. So it wasn't a fun Thursday for us. However, it meant that Sunday was marginally more enjoyable because I didn't have to sweat out my team getting completely dog.
Can we talk about them putting Drake May in at the end?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Why we do
that.
Why?
For
it's
what?
Not a good idea.
You just watched Jacoby Brissett give up his 70s, 60s, 50s, however, the back end of his life. He just sacrificed for that team the other night. And a win, like we were never going to win that game.
Never.
I understand wanting to get Drake May live bullets. Fine. Not the situation to do it in. We all know he's going to have to play at some point this year, whether it's just the fact that the offense is completely stagnant, whether it's the fact he's the only quarterback left on the roster that's healthy at the time. Like, he's going to end up playing. That was not the time to do it. Just run the ball, get out of there, and go reassess. It was a short week. It's just unnecessary. He took 2 or 3 big hits at the end of the game that were just not needed. Not needed.
Awful.
I couldn't believe the call to put him out there. I really hated the play calling once he was out there.
I had that one beauty pass.
That was a dot. Loved that. Cool. I like to see that. But the fact that they got down to the end zone there and just
then we stopped. Yeah.
They let time expire. You had timeouts. If you're gonna put him out there, the only reason you're doing that is to get the kid live bullets and see game action. What better time?
What you got. Yeah.
Right. You're getting a live red zone look basically for free. If you throw a pick, fumble, doesn't fucking matter. The game's cooked anyway. If you're going to have the kid out there, let him finish the drive. It
was ridiculous. I don't think he should have been out there in the first place. I think it was risky for no reason. You put is Joe Milton even on the regular?
He wasn't
roster?
dressed.
No, that's the problem.
That's literally coughing up blood on the sideline. They're like, oh, let's send Drake May out there. What are we doing? And Gerard Mayo at the end of the game was like, yeah, that was all me. Well, that was fucking stupid, Gerard.
Gerard Mayo, noted Belichickian ways. Gerard, why'd you do that? And then he explains it, whereas Belichick was like, I do what I want when I want.
Yeah.
You don't question me.
By the way, Belichick's show on YouTube where he's going over film with Lombardi and Patricia, so good.
Of course it is.
So good.
If you didn't watch the NFL Top 100 where he was one of the hosts, you missed out because it was out of his shell talking football, which is what that guy loves.
Yeah.
He just didn't. You know what he didn't love? Losing.
Yeah.
That
whole channel he's got going right now is just gems.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, big fan. Not a big fan of the Buffalo Bills. They also completely annihilated Jacksonville.
They dog walked Trevor Lawrence.
They didn't have to play a half. They could have mercied them.
They could have put up 75 points the other night if they really wanted to.
What? So is this Buffalo beating up on a bad team? Is this Buffalo playing well? Because from the second half of the Cardinals game, Josh Allen is just on another level. There's no turn. He's not turning the ball over, which he is noted for. Noted turnover machine, Josh Allen, not turning the ball over. Zero turnovers right now. And he's not doing the shit that always got him into trouble, which was hero ball. He would like try and run for a first down when he didn't have to. He would lose the ball would be way out here, and he'd be like, that's a strip sack. Like he's playing well, but is this Buffalo, like, is this them taking advantage of what's left of the window? Because the defense isn't great. Jacksonville did not do much to make that defense. I mean, Jamar Hamlin's getting picked.
Trevor Lawrence might be bad. He might be bad at football. We haven't seen him be good in how long now? Like that performance the other night was absolutely unacceptable. He's overthrowing guys. He's just his decision making is bad.
His accuracy is significantly down.
Yep.
From when he came back from injury. So he came back from injury and he's played 9 games, I think, and he is 0 for 9 or it's 8.
Yes.
0 for 8. One of those two.
I think it's over 9 now.
Yeah, it's 0 for 9 now. I think it was 0 for 8. It's now 0 for 9. And while football is a team sport, quarterback in particular, you have to win the games unless you're Justin Fields. You have to go in and win the game.
Unless you have TJ Watt on your team.
Unless your defense is the quarterback, then you are the quarterback. I don't see how they can continue to go to the – I mean, they paid him $55 million. That's why they're going to go to the well. But they got to figure something out. Christian Kirk not doing what he used to do. They're clearly missing the tight ends that, like, what do you – like, you need your outlets. You got to have those guys. You got to have that relationship. And he's missing those pieces. He's absolutely missing those pieces.
This team a few years ago, like, they were starting to come back up when Trevor Lawrence was like, you know, we had made the playoff run, and he had a couple good seasons in there, but
they should have signed T. Higgins, man. They should have traded for that guy.
Right, and they were supposed to be like on this upward trajectory where they were going to keep improving, and they haven't. They haven't gotten better. The team around them hasn't gotten any better in a couple seasons, and Trevor Lawrence is continuing to get worse.
It's that Chargers,
I don't know what you
Jags playoff game that really everything kind of flipped after that.
Right, and if Trevor Lawrence doesn't get back on track, then this team's going to keep floundering, and you're stuck with him because you paid all that money. That's more money than Daniel Jones, and we already talk about how fucked the Giants are.
That O-line is worse than the Patriots.
The Jags?
Jacksonville. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's real bad.
It's up there. I don't know if it's worse. The Patriots line is horrific.
Absolutely worse. Flashbacks watching Mac Jones get strip sacked, though.
Yeah. I want to root for the guy.
I just want him in there so bad. He's not, look.
I was like, he's going to come in, he's going to throw a touchdown or two, and then we're going to get the people on Twitter that are like, maybe we put Mac Jones in instead of Trevor Lawrence. And that he just got absolutely dogged the second he stepped on the field.
I'm waiting to see what Buffalo does this week. And I think that'll be the precursor to what the rest of their season looks like. Buffalo is noted to be a great regular season team. The division is theirs. It's free for them to take. Miami was their competition.
So.
I know. Miami was their big competition, realistically, and the Jets were kind of like the distant third wild card team. And I think that we're looking at this team now, and I'm going, all right, well, Miami is out because Skylar Thompson is not it.
No.
And no offense to Snoop Huntley, but ain't happening. It's not happening. Also, when did he change his name to Snoop Huntley? But whatever.
Noted Pro Bowl quarterback.
Yes, Pro Bowl quarterback.
Also noted Pro Bowl quarterback Mac Jones.
Yeah, Pro Bowl starter Mac Jones. I
don't know. If you're the Dolphins, who do you go get? If it were up to you,
it's
because you can't roll with those two. You have to try to solve the season. It's too early. I don't think you're going to be able to, regardless. You haven't really looked good even with Tua on the field. You barely got out of Jacksonville, who Buffalo just curb stomped. Buffalo was curb stomping you until Tua got hurt, and then obviously it continued. And then you just walked into Seattle, and I should have put my entire gambling account on that Seattle -4. That was the easiest line of the weekend. I couldn't fucking believe that it was that low.
I trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. I know Tannehill. The Tannehill love is out there, and people are like, just bring the reunion back. He was slow, and not that Garoppolo's fast, but I just felt like Tannehill didn't have the juice left. If he comes in,
Jimmy
and
G's also played in a Super Bowl.
Yes. If Tannehill comes out and like goes to like a PTO, whatever the NFL's version of a PTO is, they like bring him in and they're like, let's go, let's see what you got. And like just has like a pro day kind of deal, show out for the scouts, and he can still, if he can throw a deep ball accurately, I think you have to consider him as an option.
I like Tao's call last week with Flacco too.
Flacco's a great call. Like one of those guys that can throw the deep ball. You need someone that can get the ball to Tyreek Hill. At the end of the day, that's what you need.
That's everything the only way you're going to win games
in that
if you can get Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill going. And in turn, Achan's going to go. Johnny Smith has honestly looked pretty good so far.
Yes, he has. Yeah, he's looked pretty good. That team is in trouble.
You got nothing else outside of that. And that D-line with no Christian Wilkins, like that, you can tell immediately that Christian Wilkins is not there anymore.
Yeah. Huntley season? No.
What's up, Joyner?
I think they tried. I think that they showed that it's not. Unless he could come out. Maybe he shows out. Maybe it was just the nerves. I don't know. They're in trouble. I guess, is the narrative here. You know who's not in trouble? Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah. Sam Darnold playing real well.
Dog. Jeremy is loving every second of it.
Oh, I know. For MVP.
It's the MVD season, man. MV Darnold. I love this for them. Not a Vikings fan by any stretch. But they've got one of those fan bases that kind of deserves a little bit of love here and there. And Darnold is showing out. He's playing really well. And the defense is markedly better than I think people.
Brian Flores is scheming the shit out of that defense right now.
He's on one.
He really is. He's on his villain arc.
I love that for him, though.
Like going from Miami, Florida to Minnesota changes a person. There's no way. It has to.
This is how you become the Penguin. It's how you become the Penguin.
You deal with Tua. You get kicked out of Miami. You have to go live in the great White North.
Tua called him out on that. Tua said that his coach did not give him support, and now he's got support. How good does... Okay, so this is a great question.
I thought about this a couple times this week, and I don't really know the answer to it. Because you just spent that pick on JJ, and you really haven't even got to see him on the field yet.
I think the answer is Sam is your quarter. If you win your division and make a run in the playoffs, let's say NFC Championship game, I don't see how you can take the job away from Darnold next season. After that, probably JJ's team. You picked JJ for a reason. He's going to come back from the injury and he's going to need time. I know he's clipboarding this year, but like you're not really
he's
like
still going to need to practice and get the leg back under him. And it's going to take
some time. It's going to take some time. I think it's
maybe Sam Darnold shoots himself in the foot, but before that time is over. But
he deserves it.
Fantastic right now.
How do you take it away from him right now?
Can't. And what are you going to do? Send him somewhere else?
No. This is it. This is Sam Darnold's Daniel Ricciardo arc. That's all it is. Except he's doing it right. Yeah, absolutely. Fuck them picks.
He's been great, and they're not even full health yet. Like Justin Jefferson's obviously been fantastic, but they're missing their number 2, Jordan Addison. TJ Hawkinson's on the mend.
Yep. They're just going to get better.
I still feel like we haven't seen the full extent of that 1-2 running back combo yet either.
We haven't.
Aaron Jones and Ty Chandler have both had like good games separately, but we haven't seen them really go off together yet. I'm sure we're due for that at some point.
I'm ready
I
for
don't
it.
think it's gonna. I'm curious to see what happens this week. That Vikings Packers game is going to be one to keep an eye on, especially to see if Jordan Love's even going to play.
That's a great point. Packers did get their Malik Willis revenge game victory.
Hey, he played pretty fucking good.
He played good
bad.
enough. He played good enough.
So far, while he's been on the field for the Packers, he's got 3 scores, 0 picks, 73.5% completion rating, 122.7 QBR, and 2-0. Can't really ask for much more from him.
You really can't. He's playing fine. He's playing fine.
You expected to lose at least one of these games when you see Jordan Love go down like that. And
yeah.
My next question for you: if you're the Packers, do you even start Jordan Love this week?
No,
I don't. I let him heal up. And then you're also not letting Minnesota see your team at full health yet, because that's going to be an important game down the line too.
I look at the standings, right? Is this going to be the determining game for your division? Probably not. I mean, it's gonna have an impact, but the Vikings are 3-0. Like, the Vikings are 3-0. If the Vikings go to 4-0, it's not going to impact. Are you going to be able to chase them down? Yes, Green Bay is better than Chicago. Chicago's the worst team in that division.
Not close.
No. You want to talk about running wide on the goal line? You got a lot of heat for that. Like, a little pitch outside is you got a lot of nuts.
The Eagles did that shit on 4th and short. They did it out of the tush push on one of those times that they should have just kicked a field goal.
Eagles are a mess.
They're a disaster.
Total mess.
They need to fire everybody.
Everybody. Start with firing everybody and end with continuing.
They should have kept Jonathan Gannon and Shane Steichen and just had split head coaches.
Yeah.
And we got 2 of them actually.
What's your power ranking? Are you onto my side on this now, or are you still have the Lions up? Yeah.
I still have the Lions up. I think they got back.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I think they got back to their identity more this week. They're running in the trenches all game long. I have a picture. I couldn't find it on the tweet, so I just have an actual photo of it. But they made an absolute wall on one play versus the Cardinals the other night. Let's see if that comes up. You see that?
Yeah.
All those white jerseys?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's just textbook line play. And obviously the Cardinals' defensive line is one of the worst in the league, if not the worst. But their offensive line just absolutely went to work. And if they can get David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs the ball 35, 40 times in a game and just steamroll opponents, then so be it. The only times the Lions really shoot themselves in the foot is when they do dumb shit and go for it in situations where they shouldn't, and just mental errors. And if you're just going to hammer the ball with those two, there's not a whole lot of room for you to make mental mistakes. Your offensive line is fantastic. You have 2 great weapons in the backfield. Just run the fucking ball.
That's the problem, though, is they run the ball, but then they're like, oh, we're here. We can do this. It's like, I don't think you should do it.
Also, Jameson Williams is open all the time.
All the time.
Watching all 22 in the Lions, he's open constantly. He might be legit. I been shitting on Jameson Williams. Like, I don't think he's actually got it. He's got some off-field stuff.
No. You don't get to call
injuries.
People. You're not allowed to call people legit until you take down your Jawan Jennings as the guy. I'm not doing it. No. I'm revoking your ability to call people him.
I was a little inebriated that day. My buddy had him in daily fantasy, so I was kind of just enjoying the hype train there.
Hey, you're allowed to enjoy the hype train. Let's also remember,
some people were asking. I didn't say I was the one asking. No, some people were asking.
Some people said yes, and the answer is no. No, he is the open receiver on the 49ers, which makes him the best receiver on the 49ers today, until someone is covering him, which will probably be next week.
Until Casper comes back from his offseason.
Yeah.
Mr. Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, he'll come back. he'll figure it out. It'd be nice if he did that so I could save my dynasty league. But
They saved my franchise a whole lot of money by shunning us.
yeah, he did. Thank you for that.
Unshunned.
Yeah. What else we got?
I still got that division: Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears.
Yeah,
pretty definitively, I think.
I'm still flipped on the top. I still think it's the Vikings first. Lions making too many mistakes. Vikings are not. They're just not.
You know, one thing I noticed about Caleb Williams and the Bears, he is never right on time with like routes and stuff. That whole game against the Colts, he either threw the ball way too early and the route never developed, or he held onto the ball too long and tried to hit the deep shot. There's several times they're in cover 2, back deep, and he tried to throw the ball deep over the middle. Like what he had open out routes on either side on a third down, and he threw it deep into double coverage. Another time we've been really shitting on the Bears O-line. They're not really producing in the run game, but Caleb Williams has had, like, at least this game, he had time. Against the Texans, he had zero time. And I'm not trying to indict the kid. He's played 3 games.
No, I think he's got. I mean, he does it to himself. He does it to himself. Like he brings the criticisms and he brings the like harshness, and I'm glad to see him starting to figure some things out. But like, you got to be better.
That team is just a dumpster fire. They should be better than they are. That defense is good. They brought in all these weapons on offense.
I think Keenan Allen's feeling right now.
Product is terrible.
I think Keenan Allen
good.
He's been out with a calf thing. Everybody's got calf injuries.
It's because the first play of the game, the first play of the season, he took off on a streak. He was open on a streak. Keenan Allen was open on a streak the first play of the game, and now he's got a calf injury. Hasn't been the same since.
Don't expect
the last tread on the tire.
I don't expect. I feel bad for him because he signed there obviously thinking that Williams will be like, give him a chance, and I don't know about that. I think he made a poor choice. It's awful. It's awful.
They have a foundation, obviously, but they need to figure out something, whether it's coaching, I don't know what exactly it is. And obviously you need to let the kid develop. It's 3 games into his career. Everyone wants to hit the panic button on NFL teams, specifically QB, super early.
Before we get to just a quick kind of who we got this week, I do want to acknowledge that Jaden Daniels is him.
Yeah.
I know it's not a team
that game the other night was insane.
Ooh, he's real good.
Real good. 90-something completion percentage. That dot at the end of the game, just right in the breadbasket. He had another one to Terry McLaurin that got stopped at like the 1.
It's so good.
Fantastic game. He like calling for 4th downs, like having that much confidence in himself, his team, everything. Just he had full command of that team, and the coaching staff knew it. Cliff Kingsbury had a great game.
Yeah, he did.
He had a great game. Dan Quinn just letting Jaden Daniels ball out might be the answer to the Commanders.
They're feeling good.
They have to be feeling good. That was a great game.
Bears and Rams.
Especially when you look at all the other quarterbacks, all the other rookies, and how they're performing.
He's it.
So far.
No, he's it.
You have to just be like, we got it. We nailed it. Here we go. Start building. Texans 2.0.
Hopefully it turns into that. I'm not expecting him to have a CJ Stroud season, but if he
that
plays,
line still sucks.
He's real good though.
But we watched Sam Howell almost die back there last year.
Yeah, he's really good. I think they found their guy finally. You like that?
Lauren's got to be feeling good too.
Finally get a quarterback?
Yeah. That list of quarterbacks that he's got a pass from, that graphic the other night was crazy.
He's got almost as many quarterbacks as it felt like the Bears had for a long time. Like, it's just like, oh, great, another McLaurin quarterback. Here we go.
Garrett Gilbert, let's go.
Yep. This week, Bears and Rams. You think the Rams are?
I don't care how hurt the Rams are. That line doesn't look right.
Kyron Williams all day long.
That's all they got left.
Vikings and Packers.
I got the Vikings I think even if Jordan Love starts, I don't think it matters.
I think the Vikings win that one.
Do you see their schedule too coming up?
Yeah,
Soft.
real soft.
Maybe we could be looking at like an 8-1 Vikings team, 9-1 Vikings team.
The Patriots play the Niners.
Yeah, we're gonna get the doors blown off. I think we're not even because the Niners have been good. They've been bad the last 2 weeks.
We're just not great.
We're just terrible. No. And we're going on the West Coast. Like,
it's not fun.
Don't like it.
And then we got another. How do you feel about the 2 Monday night games?
I hate it. Can we get one on Friday?
Just give me one on Friday. Give me Thursday. Give me Thursday, Friday. Give me Saturday college, and then give me Sunday.
Yeah. And then I get Monday night. I don't need 2 games on Monday night. I like the option because I didn't really need to watch the back half of I mean, honestly, after the first quarter, that Bills-Jags
games, yeah.
That shit was done.
And the other game was more entertaining, for sure.
For sure. That game was the first game since like 1940 to have no turnovers and no punts.
Yeah. Scoring all day long.
All day long.
Monday night, we have Titans and Dolphins and Seahawks and Lions. They are staggered a little bit. They could be staggered more. If you're going to give me 2 Monday night games, you need to start one like an hour earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Like you need to have like a 7:30 start.
And
then the other one should be the West Coast.
Tennessee and Miami, we probably don't need to watch at all. We're all going to be watching Seattle, Detroit.
Yes. Yeah, we are. Because that's the better of the 2 games.
That game is game of the week, and it's not. I mean, Ravens, Bills, I guess, but I would rather see the Seahawks than the Lions.
Commanders, Cardinals. Kyler Murray, K1, no defense.
No defense.
Versus the Commanders.
Also, Marvin Harrison needs like 15 targets a game right now.
Yeah, it's give him the ball.
Crazy how open he is just every single play. There's several times in that game where Kyler had him over the middle, sideline, whatever you want, and he was just like, I'm going to wait. Oh, he's still open. I guess I'll throw it to him.
There's no way the Bengals lose to the Panthers this week, is there?
There is a way. Andy Dalton revenge game in Cincinnati. He knows the field, knows the area. He's going to have people there.
Zach Taylor gets fired if they lose to the Panthers. True or false?
I'm going to put money on the Panthers outright. And I'm very reserved on the Bengals panic. Like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, they suck. They're terrible. I really don't think they are. They were super depleted week 1, and it's week 1. They've historically been bad. And we got them. It was close. They had a chance to win at the end of the game. Week 2, if it weren't for the phantom PI call, they win that game in Arrowhead.
Yep.
And this week, if Jaden Daniels doesn't have his coming out party, whether you want to credit them or credit Cincinnati's defense for collapsing, I don't care. It was still a good game. They were close. The offense looked a whole lot better than it has. I'm not ready to write the Bengals off entirely just yet. But if you lose to the Panthers, like as good of a team as you have been in the past, and as much as I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, 0-4 is 0-4.
The game of the week for me is probably that Monday nighter.
Me too, 100%.
I do like Ravens and Bills on Sunday night. I think that's nice. I also I like part, and I don't know if this is just me like wanting to witness this. I want to see Saints Falcons in like an old school shootout. Whereas like 2 years ago, Saints Falcons would be like the over-under set at like 25.
Yeah.
It's 42 and a half right now for what it's worth. So
we got to see vintage Derek Carr in the last drive of that Eagles game. So
did.
Hopefully we'll get to see more of that in the Falcons game.
Thursday, we've got Giants and Cowboys.
We didn't touch on that Giants game. Shout out Devin Singletary for the under there. The under was absolutely dead, cooked, done. Nothing. I had it so many different ways. I need to read you. This was the every drive result from the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Punt, touchdown Browns, punt Giants, fumble Browns, punt Giants, turnover on downs by Cleveland, miss field goal Giants, turnover on downs Cleveland. Time expired. That under was dead to rights going into the fourth quarter. And then the last play of the game, Devin Singletary, I mean, not last play, but he broke a run 40, 50 yards, goes to the end zone and drops down on one knee. I couldn't fucking believe it. Just absolute silent shock in my house watching that.
Amazing. Let's get some Stone stories. It's about that time.
Yes, sir. So I was going to use this one and then pivoted to something else. But did you see that there's a little girl in Ohio, she's like 9 years old, drove to Target by herself?
No.
Crazy. She drove it was a 20 to 25 minute drive, more than 10 miles, just because she wanted to go shopping. Parents reported her missing, thought somebody stole the car. No, just took the car to Target, went in.
Pumpkin spice.
No way she had money, right? And she's like, she wasn't shopping. She was going to go shoplifting.
That's amazing.
Crazy. Anyway, we're going to California. A California man has realized that he has inadvertently been paying his neighbor's electric bill for at least 15 years. Ken Wilson, who lives in Vacaville between Sacramento and San Francisco. That sounds like one of the worst sandwiches in the world. Yeah. It's like a bad place to live between Sacramento and San Francisco. I'm good. I'd rather go with Brian Flores to Minnesota. That's not true, actually. Yeah. I don't want that weather. I backtracked that as soon as it came out of my mouth. He's been worried that his bill was higher than other people's, which did not make sense to him. It's been that way for a while. He's been trying to save power. Nothing's working. Quote, I've been trying to conserve electricity and lower my costs because it was getting really expensive. You think, fucking 15 years. Eventually, he complained to the local utility PG&E, which sent a worker out to investigate. I thought there was a leak or someone was stealing my electricity or the meter was faulty because I figured something just wasn't right. Instead, PG&E discovered Wilson's meter was linked to unit number 91 in his building, not his own apartment number 90. Records suggest that the situation had been going on since at least 2009. That's a long time to be paying somebody else's electric bill. And it's not really specified. Oh, fuck, Welch, I didn't. That's on me. Sidebar. It seems as if somebody else in the building was also paying somebody else's electric bill. If he was paying 91, and he lived in 90, who's paying 90? Is he paying both? I feel like if that were the case, it would have been specified in the article.
Nothing makes sense here.
I thought the same thing too. I was like, a leak in what? Like the actual wire? Like, what is he talking about? A leak, like somebody was like, hey, I got information on apartment number 90. This guy 3 doors down's been paying their electric bill for 15 years.
How do you find that out? Like, was there like a whistleblower?
He had to have just been like, eventually, like any neighbor that walked out of the apartment building, who's like, I hate to do this weird question, but what are you paying for your electric bill? And it was just like thousands of dollars less than what he was paying.
Amazing.
Careful, Ty. Don't drop any water on it.
No. Yeah, you gotta watch that. You're leaking electricity. It's all over. Go get your blinker fluid next. Make sure you keep that topped up.
In typical fashion, they're not going to change it till next month billing cycle. So he's got one more month of him having to pay his neighbor's electric bill. If I'm the neighbor, I'm running it up. I'm putting every window's going to have an AC. It's cold. I don't even care.
Yeah, just run it up. See what we can do.
I also want to know if his neighbor knew. He had to have, right? He had to have.
Yeah, had to have. No way.
Yeah, see, Joyner's got it. It had to have been. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
He's like, wow, I'm paying like $20 for electric. This fucking place rocks.
Yeah, it's the best. That's it. That's all. We're going to get out of here. We got football to watch. I think I'm actually doing the Sunday show this week.
Hell yeah. I keep waking up and it's not
the boys have been traveling.
Go back to nurse my hangover for another little bit.
You are fighting the neighborhood. Yeah, all of them.
Every single one.
Yeah, it's
like, you knew. Apartment 23 knew.
This is how you end up on Dateline. Keith Morrison's going to come out of here.
Man snaps and kills entire apartment complex. Reason for it, 15 years of paid electric bills.
Yeah, it's not good. We'll be back. We'll be back Wednesday. Another edition of Great North Sports.
Plus Malik Neighbors plus 135 for an anytime tutty. Hit 2 last week. Dallas' secondary sucks. Love it.
That's a freebie. We'll give you the freebies. We got a newsletter Friday. Don't forget to check out the newsletter. And yeah, we're back next week. I should be back on the Sunday show. First time in like 2 weeks. We didn't have one last week. I had my daughter's friend's birthday party, and the boys were traveling. And then the week before, they were also traveling. So let's see. Let's see what happens. Yeah. I'm sorry, Welch. It's not my fault.
I was kind of your fault for tailing Tank.
Yeah, don't tail Tank. Tank dropped it in. And
Tank will tell you not to tail him.
Yeah, it's not a great call. All right. For Dubs, I'm Armchair. We'll see you next week. Peace.